Have you heard? Roku's banning piracy and adult entertainment channels.
Well, there's a little more to it than that. Let's discuss. So back in October of 2021, Roku announced the launch of what it's calling an Independent Developer Kit, or IDK. And what is that supposed to do? Well, according to the company, the new IDK, quote, enables developers to explore the platform's capabilities and personalize their Roku experience. Basically, the new IDK lets developers create applications that run on Roku's platform. And that includes non-streaming apps, so things like utilities, games, and other types of programs, all running on Roku's hardware. On the surface, it looks like a way for Roku to encourage and foster developers to try new things on Roku's hardware and not just approach the platform as a destination for streaming apps. And alongside the new IDK, Roku announced a new beta channel that will allow developers to try out their apps in a test environment before releasing it publicly. Pretty standard fare for developer tools. So far so good. What's the big deal? Well, toward the end of the blog post announcing the new IDK and the new beta channel feature, Roku shared an interesting update. In a section titled Sunsetting Non-Certified Channels, Roku announced that with the launch of these new developer tools, the company would be removing non-certified channels from its platform by March of 2022. And in a later blog post, Roku refined that deadline with a much more specific date, February 23rd, 2022. And in place of those non-certified channels, the new IDK and beta channels would offer a better environment, at least according to the company itself. And that's where some eyebrows started to raise. What are non-certified channels and what are they used for? Well, as the name might suggest, non-certified channels are channels that function on Roku's hardware but aren't officially supported and aren't available on the Roku Channel Store. And they're often used for testing purposes like trying out channels before their official launch on Roku's platform. And with the upcoming arrival of the new beta channels feature, Roku likely deemed these non-certified channels as no longer necessary. Okay, but what else are they used for? Well, these non-certified channels allow developers to create perfectly functional apps that run on Roku's platform. What's more, developers could also share access to these channels via unique codes. And so you have the ability to create Roku apps that sort of live in limbo outside of the purview and guidelines of the official channel store, and you have a means to distribute access to that channel to a large number of people. On the user side, it gives folks a way to run unofficial apps on their Roku devices, a process that's been referred to as sideloading.
And non-certified channels have become a popular place for a variety of groups, including those offering pirated content and/or adult-oriented content. Several major names have certainly taken advantage of what is essentially a loophole in Roku's current platform development model. Now, to be clear, adult entertainment and piracy are not the only popular genres in this particular domain of gray area apps.
But with the shift to the new IDK, these non-certified channels appear to be on the way out. Why is Roku doing this? Well, first up, this is all purely speculation on our part, so I highly advise against taking anything we say in this section as absolute fact for or against Roku. We're just connecting some dots and seeing what the picture looks like to us. And that picture looks like a couple of things, really. On one hand, the new IDK and beta channels features could indeed offer more robust support for developers, and it brings Roku's platform more in line with other environments where app makers have a clear set of tools and more defined pathways to publication of their apps. And on the other hand, we've already seen instances where Roku has had to address even the potential for adult-oriented material or illegal or unlicensed content. So moving away from non-certified channels could be a way for Roku to avoid future legal issues. But again, we are not Roku, so we can only speculate. What's next? So after February 23rd, users will not be able to install or launch non-certified channels, and all of those channels will be taken off the developer dashboard. Developers working on non-certified apps are encouraged to try one of two routes. They can migrate to either the new beta channel or to the public channel. The new beta channel imposes time and user limits that make it usable as a test environment, but much less useful as a way to broadly distribute an under-the-radar channel. Meanwhile, the public option means subjecting your app to Roku's certification guidelines before it's made available to the general public on the channel store. Wrapping it all up. So that's what's happening in the world of Roku. As for how that affects you, the end user, well, that's entirely up to you. There are certainly some in the Roku community that have been vocal about their displeasure with the move, and with some competing platforms offering ways to sideload unofficial apps, I'm sure a certain percentage may make the move to other operating systems. And at the same time, there are probably other Roku users who had no idea non-certified apps were a thing until just now. Regardless, we'll certainly be keeping a close eye on Roku's platform as it makes the transition away from non-certified apps to its new IDK and beta channel features. As for you, what do you make of all this? Are you done with Roku for good? Are you unsure what the fuss is all about? Maybe you're somewhere in between. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section down below, though I do ask we all keep it civil, please. Much appreciated. In any case, thanks for watching, and if you haven't done so already, please do consider clicking on those all-important like and subscribe buttons down below. They are both great ways to support our channel, and we'd certainly appreciate it. For now, though, my name is Philip Palermo. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you all next week. Take care.